Do you see the absolute lack of intellectualism of these people? Anyway, you're about to hear in this video, you're going to hear that phone call, and you'll hear DPR Jones make a buffoon of himself. While you listen to this, realize that this Journal of Cosmology states that in their paper they describe the age of the Earth as part of this problem. I mean, it's included within their statement. They've taken that into account, and they still claim that life could not have arisen by natural means on the Earth. DPR Jones didn't know this. Even so, it's not cherry-picking any kind of way, because scientists quote each other all the time. Just a single statement. Is it rational to believe that I should have to read an entire scientist's paper before continuing with what I was saying so that I can't be called cherry picking? You know, that I picked out a paragraph or a sentence that they made and said, see, they state in theirs. Do I have to read their whole paper? You see how absurd that is? This is the lack of intellect you find in atheists today. You know, Dr. William A. Lane Craig and others have studied atheism for, and the history of it. And, they've determined that current modern atheists are the least intellectual batch of folks that have ever denied God. Atheists that lived 100 years ago or 150 years ago and were authors were far more intellectual than these big mouths that hide behind a camera and rant and complain all the time. Isn't that something? Anyway, enjoy listening to DPR Jones make a goon of himself, ranting on without knowing what he's talking about and making a buffoon of himself for his own ignorance, and then calling me dishonest because he's ignorant of the subject. It's funny. Oh, before I go, DPR Jones, since you seem to know so much and you seem to hate the truth so much, you carry on and on in your videos how, religion is evil and how religion is bad and no God exists and how evolution is true and science demonstrates evolution. It's science, evolutionism. And that creation's false, can't be true. Therefore, I challenge you formally to a debate on the subject of evolution versus creation. Okay? What do you say? That is a cordial. I challenge you formally to a debate on the subject of evolution versus creation. Okay? What do you say? That is a cordial. Nobody talking over each other. You'll get your chance to talk. I get my chance to talk. You talk, I talk. We have rebuttals, we questions and answers. You have to answer my questions now, and I have to answer yours. And we'll have a formal debate, a courteous, professional, gentlemanly, formal debate with a moderator, and a stopwatch, and a live audience. What do you say? Can you support your worldview? You have what it takes? If so, let's do it. Okay? I challenge you to a formal debate. The subject, these are the conditions if you accept. The conditions are, the subject is evolution versus creation. Which one is true? Intelligent design and special creation, or naturalistic evolution? Which one explains the origin and of diversity of life on the earth? And there will be a moderator. I will choose the moderator. The moderator will be nothing but a stopwatch with a mouth. They will make no assertions. They will make no interjections. They will do nothing but be a stopwatch with a mouth. And the location is my Blog Talk Radio program. I'll provide some quotes from that paper which explains that they're taking into account the age of the Earth in their calculations which determine that life could not have arisen on the Earth by natural means. This is what there we go. Before I begin, I'll provide quotes from that paper which demonstrate that they're taking into account the age of the Earth with their statement that life could not have arisen by natural means on the Earth by any material processes. This is what DPR Jones didn't know, what he was ignorant of, and then got upset, called me a cherry-picking, dishonest person. You know why he got upset? Because science is demonstrating, modern science, is demonstrating what creationists have been saying all along. That the environment of the Earth, the odds, the complexity, what we find in the Earth and the fossil record, etc., these things demonstrate that life could not have, nor did it, arise on the Earth. Creationists have been saying that for decades. But you see why DPR Jones got so upset was because this information goes against his paradigm, and it's coming from a secular source. That got him really upset, you see. And that's why he jumped into calling me a cherry-picking, dishonest person without having investigated anything, because he was overcome by his emotions. Because science is demonstrating what creationists have been saying all along, and this really gets under his skin.
Hello, Sporty. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The cosmological paper that you've just been referring to try and suggest that panspermia is the idea that scientists have for the origins of life on Earth. Do you have a reference to that paper?
Yes, I can provide a link. I'll paste it into the chat.
Right. Thank you. Now, is it the paper that featured in the video, which I've just tried to look at and doesn't appear to be any longer on your YouTube channel?
What is it? I'm sorry, repeat that.
The paper that you referred to in a YouTube, you made a YouTube video fairly recently.
Yes.
In which you referred to that paper, although you didn't actually give a reference to it, but I was able to find it. Can you actually say what that paper says is the age of the universe?
No, not if it's based upon assumptions.
Well, I will tell you.
I
will tell you. You see, this is why people think that you are dishonest, Sporty. That paper says that the age of the universe is 14.5 billion years old. You have cherry-picked one part of that paper to try and support your argument. Do you not think that that is dishonest?
How is that dishonest when all I've done is quote something that they state?
Because you quoted it out of context and been very selective about it.
No, I didn't even address the age of the Earth. No, I didn't even address the age of the Earth. I addressed what they stated about the possibility of life arising on the Earth. You cherry-picked from a scientific paper and gave a completely contrary... Because
I'm sorry,
I
Neppy, you
part
did.
of their paper. Do you expect me to read the entire paper before I discuss anything
what I
that they say?
expect you to do
come on.
I expect you to have some...
You're gone.
No. Hold on. Is this DPR? I want to hear you out.
Complain. What is he trying to say? I should read the entire paper to somebody before I'm allowed to, or it's valid to read? Do evolutionists do this themselves? Oh, come on.
No.
I should read the entire paper before any of it is valid?
I'm serious. I'm really actually what I want to know is if he's still around. If you haven't kicked him off yet, I'd like to know what
I haven't kicked him off.
Okay, I want to know where his direction is. What is he asking? I don't know what his call-in complaint is. So let's.
Okay, I'll put him back on the air. DPR Jones,
yeah,
back on the air.
And will you please listen? I just want to listen. Let him say his piece. I want to hear him out.
Okay.
Yes, it's very straightforward, and why you don't seem to be able to understand it is somewhat strange to me. Nephilim quoted sections of a scientific paper. That scientific paper actually says and supports the idea that the universe is 14.5 billion years old. He cherry-picked from that paper to try and... Well, I know you disagree with them, but you cherry-picked from a paper and misrepresented it, and that is dishonest.
No, because I didn't address the age of the Earth at all. I didn't. There's nothing.
Well, if you think that's a justifiable excuse.
No, I don't see what you're complaining about at all. I really don't. All right. It seems completely void of reason to me.
Yes, I'm sure you.
Hold on, let me.
Because I can.
Hey, Nep, can I talk to DPR
I'm asking a question. If I quote a portion of what some scientist says, does that mean that I agree automatically with everything that they say?
If you do it in a way that misrepresents what the scientists were saying, then
how did I misrepresent any information?
Because you didn't.
What did I misrepresent?
You did not include the fact that all of the scientists that were responsible for that paper, and I have read it, say that the universe is 14.6 billion years old. The appearance that you were suggesting was that you had found a scientific paper that supported the fact that abiogenesis could not occur on the Earth, and therefore God did it.
Which is what they state.
Yes, they do say that.
I don't see any dishonesty here at all. all I see is you complaining because I quote something, a portion of what this paper states, without reading the entire part of it.
Why do you never put references in your videos? I mean, it's very easy to do, but that wasn't the main. To be honest, that was not the main point that I wanted to come onto the show for. And if I could go on to the main point, yes, please.
Have you ever made a video yourself in which you quote something a scientist says without quoting the entire paper and reading the entire thing? Because if you have, your argument is really pretty moot, don't you think?
Well,
you're cherry picking. No, you're cherry picking.
Let me answer the question, Neppy. Let me answer. Are you going to let me answer the question?
Yes, go ahead.
Right. The only ones that I really do on science have probably been my 9/11 videos. The last couple of which were in relation to the idea that thermite was found in the dust after 9/11. And the papers that were referred to, yes, I read them in detail. I still have them. So I don't think that there is any video I've made making a specific scientific claim that I have not linked in the video and also have read the entire paper.
I provided the link. I provided the name of the journal in the paper. But what I did exactly what you've done.
Anyway, my main question. If
how is that any? Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. How is that any different? You still haven't.
I don't think you have. I don't think
you have made any claim in science in any of your videos and read the entire paper and say that I agree with this point and here's the next point and next point and go through the entire paper. Have you done that?
Sporty, come on. Let's
no, you haven't done that.
I saw the video.
Okay,
and
so you're cherry picking DPR.
And no, in the comments you actually were specific.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to listen to any more of that.
Hey, Neff, can I talk to DPR?
No, I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. I mean, he's calling me a cherry picker while at the same time he does the very same thing. This is the
I know. Can we get over this whole piss and match? I don't care about that. I'd really like to hear what the guy has to say.
We only have 22 minutes left, and I'm not going to spend it listening to somebody claiming I'm cherry picking when he does the same thing. I don't have to read the entire scientific paper to be able to quote from it, I mean, come on, that's pretty ridiculous sort of a demand to put on somebody. Oh, you only read part of their paper. You didn't read the whole thing, and therefore, I don't care if they disagree with me. If they say that the Earth is billions of years old in that paper, that's fine. They're welcome to their opinion. I don't agree with it. Doesn't mean I have to read that part of it to be able to read some other part of it. It's not evidence of anything to say. Really, all that is just atheist hypocrisy. Here he is claiming I'm a cherry picker when he does the very same thing in all his videos, and he's complaining about it. I'm sorry. There's no intellectualism in that whatsoever. All that is rant, and we only have 22 minutes. We don't have time for rants. So if somebody else would like to call in, we'll take a call in. Micah, I'm sorry you haven't had much time to talk. I'd like to give you an opportunity to answer somebody's question.
One thing about what he was just saying is, they come to the conclusion that life could not have started on the Earth. Whatever age they think the universe is has nothing to do with it. If they say life couldn't have started on Earth, they can believe the Earth is 20 billion years old if they want to.
Let me ask you this, though. He stated that in the paper it says that the universe, I believe if I got this right, he stated that the universe, according to this paper, was 14.5 billion years old or something close to that. Isn't that actually what they think at this point? I mean, I know it's been a moving target forever. At one time, they always thought it was eternal, and then they thought it was 20, and then they thought it was 2, and then, I don't know. It's changed and changed and changed. But I think right now, kind of the current paradigm, if I'm not mistaken, is right around 14 billion years. I think the papers are they accurate with that statement, are they not?
Yeah. On number 18...
it's not like this is a new claim, I mean, we all know that that's what they believe, that it's billions of years old.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that right now the current paradigm is that the universe is about 14 and a half, 12 or so billion years old, and that the Earth is about 4.6 billion years old, and I think I'm correct in stating that. But I wish I would have gotten a little bit further with that, because I'd be curious to know what his argument is with that, because I think that's where they're at with it right now. I don't know.
But I just don't see this cherry picking argument is anything worth listening to. All he's doing is accusing me of cherry picking when he does the very same thing. And again, I don't have to read an entire paper by a scientist to quote a portion of what they said. This is what evolutionists do continuously in their papers, and one evolutionist scientist will quote another one constantly.